school to meet the band. Stranger things have happened, you know. But yeah, my family had a reputation. We were kind of an interesting family in Felton. Started the first real health food store there back in the late 60s, about 1968, 69, when we came back from Europe. And my dad built a big, fat, probably the biggest boat that was ever built in Felton, 48-foot trimaran, 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, teak wheelhouse, beautiful yacht. If I ever find any pictures, I'll share them. But yeah, Dave and Jeff were brothers. I knew both guys, close to the whole family. They have for many decades glass. They're glazers, glass business in Ben Lomond. It was in Felton for a long time, but it's all in the San Lorenzo Valley and the Santa Cruz Mountains there. You know, one thing that helps me cope with stress, I keep lists. I'm a little OCD, a little ADD about it. I have to keep lists of things I've got to do, things I got to get. I mean, always stuff creeps up every day. And it's like I take it out of my head where stuff would be swimming around there making me crazy, and it's on paper. And it's done. You know, so I try to remember stuff to write it down ASAP because I'll forget it, then it'll drive me nuts the rest of the day. So I recommend everybody keep a list of stuff you got to do and stuff you got to pick up. You know, so that's just a little friendly advice to everybody. It helps me keep my sanity. You know, people trouble me if they're indifferent, if they're complacent about other people's problems. So those people trouble me. When I sense that, you know, these people are prescribed to the ignorance is bliss philosophy, they just rationalize how they are able to make a great fortune and just hoard it to themselves and not care about others and the effect that their business practices has on others. Yeah, that troubles me. So those are the people that are going to be troubled, and they deserve it. Okay, we've got to give a damn about others. Okay, if you don't want to be troubled, then you've got to care about other people's troubles, especially the artificially invented troubles people experience, the unnecessary troubles people experience, not the across-the-board troubles, the organic troubles, aforementioned troubles, organic troubles I mentioned. Yeah, I'd love to take this lady that I'm in love with. I'd love to just, you know, I'd love to date with her. A cup of coffee, sweetheart, anything. Do something with me, baby. I just want to hang out with you. I promise I won't be a nut. Okay, I'll keep my strong opinions to myself. Look, I'm a whole nother animal when it comes to courting you. Babe, please give me a chance, honey. I promise I'll be so much more than your best dream, your best imagine. I know it because that's what I want to be. I'm a smart guy, okay, and I know what I'm doing here. I've been thinking about this a long time, baby. I know that I can make a lady happy. I know I can, sweetheart. I know I can. I know you'll show me the way, honey. And that's all I want. Just give me a chance. I want to do something fun with you. And I promise I won't let you down. I promise I won't shame you. I won't embarrass you. I'll never speak to you in any inappropriate manner. Never hurt your feelings. Never offend you in any way. I make very few promises, but that I can promise, because you delight every fiber of my being. You're absolutely perfect. I can see everything about you. I like the way you dress. Okay, I like your figure. Okay, I know what your figure looks like. I know, baby. I know. You're beautiful. You're perfect. I like everything about you. I like the fact you think you're flawed. My first beloved, my wife, she thought she was not that pretty. And you know what? That turned me on to no end. That humility that comes with that little insecurity. Well, I'm just not that great. Man, that's such a rush, turn on. And just makes me want to exalt you to the highest heavens, sweetheart. And I know it's you know, you really believe that you're not that great. But you are that great. You are absolutely perfect in every way. Just everything about you. I like your name. Little stupid little things. I like the color of your eyes. I like the color of your complexion. I like your sweetness, your demure quality, that womanly, strong, hard-headed quality in perfect combination with that sweet, innocent, playful, virginal quality. I mean, you're just everything I ever wanted in a woman. If God said, Chris, sit down and imagine your perfect woman. She's it. She's it. There's just no contest. You're it, sweetheart. And hey, that's it. I'm sorry if I'm coming on strong. I'm sorry. I don't mean to scare you, baby. It scares me too. I mean, but I can't help it. Please forgive me. I just can't. You're absolutely perfect and irresistible. I just got to say that. You're just freaking adorable. You're just delightful. I like everything about you. And I would treat you like the queen that you are. The only woman in the world that I would ever want again to be with. This woman in Hawaii lost 17 days. That's crazy. Maybe she got into the mushrooms that grow out of the dried cow plops over there in Hawaii. Just the right climate. They're poisonous, but she might have tried them. But she got lost. And she was very grateful, and she was praising God and the prayer and all the rescuers. It was a beautiful thing to see. There was this guy on Dr. Phil yesterday. This poor bastard, he's got anger issues, and he doesn't know what's bugging him. You know, he's blaming his wife. What an idiot. And his wife is so sweet and nice, and I'm thinking, God almighty. He's so lucky to have a woman left so forbearing with him. Dude, this guy should just change, man. That guy has to realize what's bugging him, though. And I'm the guy always pointing out what's bugging you. I know, it's the system. That's what's bugging this guy, his financial insecurity. It gnaws on you. Of course it does. Lack of financial freedom, it gnaws on people. That's what's making him nuts. He's got to listen to me for a minute. And Dr. Phil wasn't even pointing this stuff out to him. I think Dr. Phil is smart enough to know that. Dr. Phil is a multimillionaire a million times over, so he's not financially insecure. Maybe this stuff's eluding him too, and he's not thinking about it. He's this master psychiatrist and all this, but he doesn't point that out to these people. How money affects the psyche? Come on, Dr. Phil. Of all the people, I don't want you to be disingenuous. Okay, but it's just like Alex Trebek. Can they talk about these things? It's that simplistic? It is that simplistic. It's bad. I mean, Alex Trebek coming out saying, scrambled eggs saved my life from pancreatic cancer. What an uproar that'd be in the medical community. Oh, my God, what an idiot. How could he, because even if they knew it was true, they got to lie to protect their job. They can't have people being cured of diabetes and pancreatic cancer and all this because of scrambled eggs. That's sick, man. I mean, we're in trouble. See, being a nobody has its perks. And one of those things, I can say whatever I want. I'm not worried about rubbing anybody the wrong way, exposing the evil deeds of darkness. I've got an obligation to do that. What's written in Scripture have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. I'm just showing you how emblematic it is, how stupid it is. We all do it. Could you imagine? I mean, what if weeds stopped growing in people's yards? As a landscaper, I'd be tempted. Hey, I got to get a hold of some weeds, man. I got to go spread some weeds. I need work. I need to be relevant. You understand? So it crosses everybody's mind that in order for you to be relevant, you got to have a problem. See, you're a problem fixer, you're a worker, you're an employer. House builder, well, if there was too many houses, well, then I'm out of a job. If there's an excess abundance of houses, supply and demand, right? I mean, everybody, no matter what you do, you can wrap your mind around that. So you don't have to be cynical to put two and two together and say, yeah, it's true. Wow, we need crime, or else my job in the judicial industry, judicial justice, the criminal industrial complex isn't going to be secure. The debt industrial complex, my job in the financial services industry isn't going to be secure. If people are all financially well-heeled, they're not going to need me for nothing. You understand the dubious warfare industry? How many trillions of dollars goes into the dubious warfare industry? We need war to be relevant. If there's no problems, if there's no need for to fight dictators, well, then we're not going to need the industry, are we? If there's no clashes, right? There's no battles anymore. They're all rendered irrelevant. You understand how stupid this whole thing is? And God is watching this. So all we can do is watch our own hearts and spread the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and hope to enlighten others. Why? What's our motivation? We're selfish. We want to be freaking happy, and we can't go it alone. We know we got to share and spread the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. To be God's friend, His servant. He's the giver of happiness. Okay? The granter of joy and peace and contentment, all those good things we all want, the safety and the security and the freedom, all those good things. So let's do it together here, folks. Let's work together. Okay? Talk to others about the things I'm talking about here. Let's have these discussions. I tell everybody to drive safely, better safe than sorry, right? Err on the side of caution, I always say. I've been driving for 46 years, so I have some experience to speak from. I have never hurt anybody in that whole time. I've been driving since I was 15 and a half years old. I'm 61 years old now. 15 and a half years I've been driving. 46 years I've been driving. And I've never hurt anybody, never hurt myself. I've been in some accidents that weren't my fault. And sometimes they're practically unavoidable. But I always say that the vast majority of accidents are avoidable if you're careful and paying attention. 99% are. I got to pay insurance, and I told my insurance agent, I'm going to be pure gravy. They've made countless thousands upon thousands of dollars off me and haven't had to pay anything out because of my negligence. It's just incredible, but that's the way it should be. Maybe we could have lower insurance rates. I'm subsidizing all the idiots, the reckless idiots. I see them driving on the You know what? Who's paying your insurance? I'm paying it. Because this idiot's going to learn the hard way. He's going to have to get in a wreck, maybe maim and kill somebody or himself, and I'm paying the price for that. So I'm glad we have the highway patrol out there. Of all the jobs I really respect in law enforcement, it's that job in particular highway safety. Yeah, when you got idiots, inexperienced, foolish idiots out there on the roads, okay, we need the highway patrol. Yeah, I like them a lot. I love them. I respect them a lot. Could you imagine being one of these guys? You want to get critical of these guys? Imagine it's your job. You're out there on some country road, and your job is to pull over drunk drivers. You suspected drunk drivers. And this guy, it's country road, you got to pull this guy over in America with the Second Amendment and all this. Yeah, your hand's going to be on your trigger, buddy. You talk about stress. It takes some gonads, man. And for the ladies, that takes some ovaries, right? You're some brave souls. I respect that a lot, man. Hey, you're like human angels out there doing this job. So yeah, I have the greatest respect. Sure, there's a few bad apples in every profession, but I like them a lot. My dad and I didn't agree on a whole lot, everything politically speaking. I felt like he had turned into a bit of a socialist, and I kind of disagreed with the idea of socialism because I feel like, the Robin Hood thing, taken from the haves to give to the have-nots, is still a form of theft. And all it creates is animosity, and the rich find loopholes and attorneys to get them off paying anyhow, so it doesn't work. So why would you prescribe to that? But, I do get it. I do understand. And intellectually speaking, I do understand the sympathy and the push for socialism because it's perceived to be an egalitarian, blue-collar, working-class thing. I get that for poor people. I get it all the way. But there are some things my dad and I fully agreed on. Martin Luther King Jr., these are things that bonded us, till death do we part. That we were bonded by Martin Luther King Jr., JFK, and Jesse Ventura. As I remember, I bought my dad one of Jesse Ventura's books. The only thing I disagree with Jesse Ventura on, I really strongly suggest that he prescribe to believe in God. Take that free insurance, brother. For God's sake, there's just too much mystery here, man. There's got to be a maker. When you consider that not a stitch of technology that humans ever came up with happened on its own. It happened because somebody had an idea, an invisible thing going on, right? Somebody else said that's a stupid idea, you can never do it. Next thing you know, it exists. So, anyhow, I like Jesse Ventura.